I'm Allison.
And I'm Bryce.
And we're Better Half Reviews, and we are joined today by eNVy Board Gaming. Can you guys introduce?
I'm Nick. This is Vik.
Hello.
We have our own little channel that we do reviews. We decided we would join these guys, our new friends, and help review a top 10. What's our top 10?
Top 10. And since we're both couples, we're talking about the best games that play with 2 players.
Yep.
So let's kick it off.
Do it.
Number 10.
So I'm going to go with number 10, Paladins of the West Kingdom. We both love this one a lot. I ranked it. So what we did is we both ranked it and we averaged it out. So I ranked it 7 out of 10 on my top 10. Vik didn't quite make her top 10. It's at 13 though. So this was our number 10 pick, Paladins West Kingdom. I love how you're playing your own little boards. You guys have played this too. I'm not sure if it's on your list. This was the one I thought might be the crossover. We'll find out. We were playing. It's kind of like it's not much take that. There is some of that when you're doing the drafting and taking the purple one, and maybe you're getting a little what do you call that? The criminal, right? And you're there's some take that there, but it's not much. There's not that much interaction, which is if you like that sort of thing, you're playing your own little game. That is really good. There's quite a few games like that on our list where there's not a ton of take that. So for us, this was an easy pick for me at least. And Vik just barely didn't make her top 10.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised it didn't. But I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious to see if this is maybe one of our crossovers. But before we did this, we were thinking we wouldn't have maybe but one crossover. This was the one that I thought maybe. So I'm curious if it'll be listed, like mentioned in the future. What do you got for your 10?
We'll see. So we actually made our list independently and then came together and made a list that we could both agree on. We had a lot of crossover in our lists, so
yeah,
kind of easy to put together a top 10.
So number 10 for us?
So for us, our number 10 is Terror Below.
Yep.
Now, it does play more than 2 players, but we just feel like at 2 players, you can kind of weaponize the worms a little bit more. There's a lot more to do, like eggs get put out on the board a lot more often, and as we found out. So
if you're not familiar with the game, it's basically Tremors minus the IP.
Oh,
I'm definitely familiar with the game. I haven't played it.
Okay. So fighting worms, and worms are attacking you. You're out in the middle of the desert. You're collecting eggs and trying to drop them off at certain locations.
Is it cooperative?
No,
okay.
It is not cooperative. So you can actually use the worms. You put down cards and you can kind of move the worms around the board. And if they get enough cards, they attack. So you can kind of use the worms to attack your opponents.
Gotcha.
But in like a 3-player game, we found it kind of hard to use the worms. And so we like it best at 2 just because it feels a little more fast-paced.
I can see why I make a list. If it's clearly best at 2, then and you like the game, then yeah, it's a good list.
In our opinion. I'm sure people like it at 3 and 4, but we feel it's better at 2.
Gotcha.
Yep. All right.
So number 9.
So number 9, we chose Haven. It's a Red Raven game. It's one of those smaller games, and it actually is just a 2-player game. And we both really like it because it feels like a big game in a small box, and there's not tons of setup, and of course it looks beautiful because it's a Ryan Lochte game. And I like that it has like the slight asymmetrical powers where one person's on the forest side and the other person's on like the city side. You're trying to battle and take over that forest area. And I don't know, it's simple, it's easy, and it's fun, and I really like it. So that's our number 9, Haven.
Nice.
It's always nice to have a smaller game. We were just away for a couple of days, and it's so nice to have something that's not a big box to travel with if you're ever going away somewhere or you just have limited space. It's always good to have smaller games.
Yeah, you can like throw it in the small pocket of a backpack or bag or something and pull it out.
Doesn't get squished.
Yeah, definitely familiar with it. We played a lot of Ryan Lochte games. It's probably the same as you guys, but I haven't played that one. Yep, they have an old shelf. I remember.
So our number 9 is actually Teotihuacan, the dice placing game. Nick had ranked it out of his top 10. He put 17. I put number 3. I ranked it number 3 just because I had a lot of fun with it. It's actually really meant for more players than 2. I think it actually isn't it supposed to play best with 4?
I think so. That's
Yeah.
why I put it at 17, because it is a good game. It makes up for that being a really good game. And yeah.
Yeah.
Vic had a 3, so it's gonna be here.
I just thought it was a great use of dice because you don't have to roll them. I don't know if you guys have ever had bad rolling adventures or just no luck at all, and if a game doesn't, yeah, that's him. That's a lot of the time with him, and I have to hear about it.
That was a good score. Yeah.
But
That's one we haven't played yet.
It's
We were actually just practicing saying it earlier today.
Yep.
That's what I did. We had to watch a video too and hear different people, and people say it differently too, so it doesn't help.
Yeah, that's the correct way. The way Vic did, we know because the city is actually pronounced that way.
Well, there you go.
So we've been pronouncing.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to do in that game.
Yeah, it's got a big table presence too. Like you guys just had a Sorcerer's World, was it?
Sorcerer City.
Sorcerer City. And it was all over your table, and it's the same thing.
Yeah,
with
this will do that too.
It's just consumed the space.
Yep.
But I do like it, and there's not a lot of interaction between two people. So if you're not feeling like a cutthroat person, or you don't want to do any take that, you're kind of doing your own thing as well. Similar to Paladins in a way, where the worst thing you can do is take a token that somebody wanted to do, or take an action that they wanted. So I like that, and always enjoy playing with Nick, even though it's meant for more players.
Yep.
So it's a good one for me.
That was our number 9. Let's do number 8. Number 8 for us is Race for the Galaxy. So I ranked this at a 2, and obviously Vic couldn't be too high up if it's a number 8. It's 18 for Vic. Vic doesn't like it as much. I love the game. I love the app. I love playing the game. It's so much going on. You guys want to say something? 1 second. I think Bryce likes this game. So I remember on a favorite game Friday. Yeah, favorite tableau game maybe, or 2 card.
Yep.
1 or 2. It's my favorite tableau game. It's my favorite card game. It's amazing. A lot of symbology. Once you learn that symbology, man, does that game work? It works so well. I love this game. Bryce, what are you going to say? Or was Alison going to say something negative?
No,
it's basically the same. Bryce really likes it. You really like it. Vic doesn't really like it. I don't really like it.
I totally agree about the symbology, and I think that's your hang up a little bit.
Well, it's because you don't play it enough, and so then you just forget, and you have to like relearn it every time. And although, real quick though, most of the times we played it, I've actually won. So you'd think I would like it more.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Nick got a little too competitive where he was playing on a daily basis, multiple times a day on the app, and he was powering through all these, showing me these devastations that he was doing and how he was murdering people in this app. And I'm sitting there like, I will never play this with you again, because I was scared.
Nice.
Get the app if you don't have it right now. Get the app if you want to even learn it. You can play against the bots. It doesn't matter. It's still fun. Get the app. Try it out. You'll get addicted, unfortunately. So if you don't want to get addicted, don't bother.
All right.
Great.
Our number 8 is Lost Cities. So this is a small 2-player like hand management set collection game.
It's a classic.
It is classic. Yep. I don't know. There's not much to say about it. You try to collect, certain cards. Your opponent's trying to collect cards as well, and there's maybe a little bit of take that. Like,
I know what you mean.
But no, it's a fun, just little quick game. Kind of like Haven. It's just a small footprint, easy to set up, easy to take down.
Right. The only take that, I guess, is when like somebody's going to play 5, then you get to play your 4 out. Oh, you did that really bad, didn't you, or whatever?
Yeah.
Or oh, I have a card you might need, but I'm gonna hang on to it.
It's like I can't discard these 5 cards, but
you guys have the expansion, the new one.
Is it
the 6-player one?
There's a new color. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
We do have that one. Yes. I like it better without it.
Okay.
Because then it's more of a competition.
Yeah, with the new color, it's like you take 3, I'll take 3, and we'll score pretty well. With only 5 colors, it's kind of you're fighting over that 5th a little more.
Okay. Also a decent app. I'll mention that as well.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, number 7.
All right. So number 7 is our first crossover.
Yep.
Paladins of the West Kingdom.
Awesome.
So I basically, for the same reasons that you guys said, like it's just a great game, and I like, and it sounds weird, but I like that there isn't too much player interaction where you're kind of doing your own thing, and then every once in a while someone might take something that you were kind of looking for.
Yep.
It's just a really thinky game, and I don't know, you get a lot out of it, and it's just there's lots of choices and lots of ways to try to go for a win. So it's really strategic too.
At 2 players, there's not a lot of downtime, whereas at higher player counts, you can just sit and wait a long time as it goes around the table.
Yeah, it's the best player count in my opinion. Otherwise, it's too long.
Yes, agreed.
That is true. Yeah.
That's why it's perfect for this list. I ranked it at 7 as well, so we're right.
I'm the outlier. I'm the anomaly.
Yeah,
we can forgive you. It's okay.
I can't remember all the games we have. There's just too many. And then when I saw his list, I didn't want to start changing mine. So my 7 is Vindication. I'm not sure if you guys have played Vindication. It's a big box. It's definitely a large game. I got it for Nick for his birthday, and we hadn't played it before, but the components were really great quality. I'm not sure. Was it a Kickstarter?
I believe so, and we played it before, but it was online.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we got it and just went right for it, and the components are super high quality, and the game actually has a lot of different choices, like you mentioned with Paladins. There's lots of different ways that you can go about winning the game, and you can alter the length of the game by going for the end game triggers. So if you're seeing your opponent getting points and you want to put a stop to that, you can try to end the game sooner and hope that you can outweigh them in the end game scoring. There is some take that, like some cards are negative effects for other people, and there is a chance that you'll obviously take something that your opponent wanted, but the turns are really quick too, and all the actions are listed on a handy reference sheet, which I'm really fond of, so it was easy for us to learn as well.
There's our rankings.
And yeah, I forgot to mention that Nick ranked it a 10 and I ranked it a 9, so we averaged it to the 7. That's what we did for Vindication. Our number 6 was Dinosaur Island. Nick ranked that 12. I ranked it 2. I'm a little biased. I like dinosaur games, so you'll find if you ever watch our channel, I'm all about the dinosaurs. I don't know. I guess it's a new thing. It's a new trend. Who doesn't want to run an amusement park for dinosaurs? So that was the first selling point for me. And it has a lot of great modules, especially the Totally Liquid expansion. We like what that adds, and that you don't have to put everything in. And there is a lot of players. You're always kind of competing with each other intensely from like the very beginning, when you have to pick your dice and assign your scientists to the market, to when you're pulling meeples out of the bag and trying not to get hooligans. You're kind of cheering on your opponent doing poorly and having their people get eaten by dinosaurs. So
I didn't know
we have a lot of fun.
I feel like I need the game now.
I know.
Oh man, I pulled out a hooligan.
They rush into your park and they don't pay admission. So, and then the last one.
Version of that game called Draftosaurus.
Oh, we haven't played that yet.
Yep, I looked into it though, but haven't got it yet.
Yeah, so we have a lot of fun with it. Beautiful design for us, and you can adjust the length of that game as well. So if you're not feeling like a full long game, you can change it.
So our number 6 is Sorcerer City. So
hey,
cool.
I said earlier, we just did a review on this, but honestly, it's a great game at any player count, because it is kind of that timed, independent tile laying.
But we just really like it.
Yeah, we just really like it, and we like playing it just anytime, 2 player, 1 player, up to 6 players, whatever. So, and it plays great at all of them. The only interaction would be at the end of the game when you're scoring, seeing who gets the influence awards or who buys from the market first. But other than that, there's not really that much player interaction.
It's interesting that you have the timer and that you guys got the app, which is really cool that you can even repurpose it for other games. But we haven't played a lot of timed games.
No.
So that's something new to us.
I think Sorcerer City and Pandemic Rapid Response are the only timed games we play.
Gotcha. We're immediately turned off the time games. I don't know why. I know I am, and I think you are too.
I usually stay away from them, but these are exceptions for us.
I think Sorcerer City really works well with the timed aspects.
Gotcha.
All right, so number 5 for us is Clank in Space.
Nice.
So this is a deck builder meets actual board game. We really like it. I was kind of hesitant on deck builders before, but I like the combination because it has that board, and so you actually feel like you're playing the game along with it. And I mean, you can play it at any player count really, but we really like 2-player games of Clank in Space. So you don't take too many of the options that you try to go for secret rewards, where 2 players you don't feel like you're running out of those options. Where it's like, you took what I wanted to get. It may happen, but it may not. And
then with the Clank aspect of it, there's only 2 players generating Clank. So you can get really unlucky and have like all 4 like cubes be your color. And so it kind of, there's a lot more like health considerations to
it makes the game a little bit more tight in the scoring and trying to like combat each other. But yeah, so I really like it. It's fun, and it's just like a silly game too, with the artwork and some of the phrases they have on the cards.
Gotcha. So regular Clank will not be making an appearance. It doesn't sound like this is the one.
We actually haven't done regular Clank. We just did Clank.
Okay. Well, I hear a lot of people like that one better if they played them both. So
I heard Clank its face.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I heard that one that people like better a little bit than the original. If they played both.
We've only played the original one, but we do have Clank Legacy still in strength. We haven't committed yet to busting that out.
Same with them.
Oh, yeah.
Ours is waiting as well. Yeah.
Maybe we should like zoom that.
Well, that's a good idea.
I don't know if that's ideal, but yeah. Number 5 for us, Underwater Cities is our number 5. This one ranked 8 for me and 5 for Vik, which is weird because I think I like Underwater Cities more than Vik based on the reviews. That's very strange. I don't know what happened. But I love Underwater Cities. Amazing 2-player game. Plays best at 2. I think even yes. Have you've played it once, right? You guys said you played it once. You need to get back to the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love this game. The more you play it, the better it gets. I played it solo, loved it. Unfortunately, in solo, I don't know why I'm talking about solo, but in solo, your victory condition is a static condition of getting 100 points and a certain amount of cities. I think 7. That's not my ideal way to play solo. Best way to play this game is at 2 players. It works amazing. 2 players, it's real snappy. You do the action, you play the card, your turn's done. It's really quick. Now you. And we're going phases. We go 10 rounds. Beautiful. Mwah. Love this game. Fantastic. Superior to Terraforming Mars, in my opinion. Don't attack me. And
this almost made our list. It only didn't because we haven't played enough. So I felt like we needed to play it more before choosing it, and we chose Underwater Cities over Terraforming Mars. So
yeah, now we're talking. Come back in a year. Better Half Reviews is going to rank this easy top 10 2-player game. Easy.
Probably.
As long as
all right, what's your number 4?
Spirit Island is our number 4. I think it's our first cooperative game here. Yes, it is. Spirit Island, so good. You only want to play it at 2 unless you want a lot of analysis paralysis and it really going deep into what everyone's going to do. You only want to play it at 2 for us. Otherwise, you're going to sit there for a while. Think. Oh, I'm taking this. Oh, but I can take that better. Just stop. Just play 2. It's a great cooperative game. A lot of stuff going on. It's a heavy game. It might be the heaviest game I own just because of how much you have to think about every little thing in this game. Love it. The most in-depth cooperative game. Had to make my list. It's at number 5 for me and 7 for Vik, so we both like it a lot.
Yeah, he often has to do some thinking about my turn, even because I'll say, you do have to work together. It's co-op. But I'll even say, should I do this? Should I do that? Oh, you're taking care of that? Oh, I was going to. And so there are some times that we do have to talk about that. So I guess that is a good point of having 2 people play only.
That's a game that we haven't gotten around to, but I've definitely been interested in it.
Yeah. Same here.
Gotcha.
We usually play it after Nick wins too many times against me, so I want something.
You're like, okay, we need something cooperative this time.
Yeah, no, win or lose together.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So our number 4 is another West Kingdom game, and it's Architects of the West Kingdom.
It's easier to get to the table than Paladins.
Yeah, I feel it's easier. Feels like there's less setup. I like how it plays at 2-player because you usually play with an AI.
Yep.
And the AI adds a lot of like randomness to it, a lot of chaos that I think rationally thinking people wouldn't typically do.
I like it because sometimes Bryce takes his focus off of like trying to beat me, and he's trying to like best
make sure they don't win.
So I'm like, sweet, yeah, go get him in jail. Not just over here.
It makes sense.
But the AI doesn't care.
Sure they don't win.
They'll take all of you.
Yeah, or if you're like trying to stall the game to get more points, and then like the AI just like takes that last build spot, and you're just like, really? Like, I wanted at least another round to get some more points. So I think it's good at 2 players because it adds a little bit of chaos.
Yep. Expansion was good too.
Yes, we're going to get that soon. Our number 3 is Everdele.
Oh, cute.
And you can play it, any player account, but we both really like the game, and I really like the game. And so playing with 2, I like it because there's not too much downtime, and the game isn't super long until you get to that last season, and you're like analyzing every single thing that you should do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just looks amazing, and it just got a great pace to the game. And so playing it a 2-player isn't too long, and you don't take all my spots that I need to go to. So.
I think an advantage of like a 3 or 4 player game is that the middle cards, like everybody can draw from, filter out a little bit more, but there's a lot more downtime. And so at a 2-player game, I feel it has a lot less downtime.
And we kind of house rule it and filter through some cards too to help change it up. So that's what we do with that.
That's a good idea. We only played it at 4 people one time, so we haven't had a lot of exposure to Everdele, but I watched your reviews. I saw some of the expansions that are out there, and I'm enticed by it. I like
frog meeples.
Yeah, I like the frog meeples.
That you don't get to use that much, I don't think.
But yeah, it's a very cute game for me. I love animals. Anytime there's an animal in a game, I'm sold. So we're looking forward to getting another opportunity to play that. Just too many games and too little time.
Yep.
I understand.
I understand that completely.
Throw children in the mix, and then there's no time.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. So our number 3 is Mansions of Madness. We picked that game. It's another co-op game. I ranked it 6, and Nick said 4. So we were almost close to each other for that one. Averaged it out to 3. It's fun to solve a mystery together with interesting stories, and the length of the game can be changed depending on the scenario that you're playing. So again, I always like to have that flexibility where you're not stuck playing a really long game if you don't want to have that long of a scenario, because some games do unfortunately run long if you don't have a lot of time, as we just mentioned. But I do like that there isn't an app that you integrate with. We play with a tablet, so it's a bigger screen that we can see, and we enjoy that. There's different player abilities as well, and there is a thing that can happen if you or your partner goes insane. There's a hidden condition that can take place where you might start starting fires for some reason, because that's what your card says is that, and your partner doesn't know what's going on, and so it's just it's always a fun time. We like it.
That thing is so cool. You can get the hidden thing. It can be just like everything's playing as normal, but you look suspicious because you have that card. You're like, oh, what is this person? Oh, it's the entire game. So cool.
Yeah,
so cool.
Good planning together too. That's another thing. Just like Spirit Island, I like that we have a plan of attack. Okay, you go to this room. I'm going to this room. I'm going to check this out. So we like that a lot.
Yep. Easy to teach too. Good game.
Yeah. So that's our number.
We've played it once.
Yeah, we need to play that a lot more, but we've only played it once so far.
Yeah. Is it me now? Number 2?
Yeah, we're gonna go on to our number 2.
Number 2. All right. For us, number 2 is gonna be my first pick. This was my number 1. Vik's number 4. It's the Castles of Burgundy. Plays amazing at 2. Amazing. This is where you want to play it. It takes too long at 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good game. It's so clean. All the actions. It's just such a clean game. It's perfect. That's my number 1 for a 2-player game, and it's not even all that close. I'm looking at my number 2. It's not close. It's not close. This Castle of Burgundy is my number 1. Every action, pretty much, is real gratifying. We just watched We Game Together play it, and they've been playing it for so long. It's like their favorite game, and they had a rule wrong. Somebody let them know like 3 hours into the stream. Like, it changed their life.
What?
Like, we played,
Yeah.
You gotta watch it. It was part 2, and the one they uploaded on Dice Tower. It changed everything. It was like a discussion for 20 minutes. Like, I can't believe they've been playing this rule wrong the entire time. Like, they're playing groups of 10 people, 10 different groups they've played with, and they've all played the same way wrong. So, anyway, great game. I love this game. Vik must love it too. She put it at her 4th favorite for 2-player.
Has cute animals.
Have you played it yet?
It does. I have to admit, I've kind of judged basically all of those types of games because they just don't like look amazing to me.
Nope.
But I hear so many good things about it where I'm like, okay, I should just try it sometime. I'll get around to it eventually.
It doesn't look great.
Yeah, that's no fair.
Allison is pretty bad at judging games by their covers.
If you can't tell by our shelf, I really like the pretty stuff.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
If you're going to be looking at something for an extended period of time, it's better to be aesthetically pleasing.
Yes,
That's why I chose Bryce.
Yeah,
Aw.
I see that. Oh, that's so cute.
See, I can be nice sometimes, okay? Okay,
That was the
anyway.
nicest thing you've said to me.
Really? Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, you're right.
our number 2 is our only cooperative game, surprisingly, on the list. But it's actually the game that we met each other at for the first time.
Aw.
This is Pandemic, so it's kind of has a special place in our heart. So it's a great cooperative game where you're trying to cure diseases and pick up little cubes and travel the world. So we found it's pretty fun at 2 players just because it's hard for the 2 people to be at just opposite ends of the world all the time, or just trying to like pick up the disease cubes before they outbreak.
And the nice thing is we have like so many different expansions and modular bits, so we can pick and choose what we want to play with or not, or how hard we want to make the game. So there's just a lot of variability in it, and it just holds a special place in our hearts.
Favorite version is Pandemic then?
In the lab?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
We actually were playing a lot of traditional games before Nick got me really interested in the hobby, and I would say Pandemic was one of the first games that we really sat there working together. Like, I can't think of a game that was probably our first cooperative game as well. And we were at one point we were sticking with roles in particular. I was a medic, or we were specializing on one that we felt worked really well because we had some bad luck to start. We were getting overwhelmed by the game. So I'd never played a game like that. So we had a lot of great memories with that game as well.
There's definitely a lot of different combinations you can do.
Very cool.
Real quick, but one time a friend of ours dropped off like a secret envelope at our house and had like come dressed as like this character, and we're gonna play Pandemic, and just made it this huge like themed thing. It was
really cool.
Interesting idea.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cool. That is awesome.
That's like a modern mystery dinner. That's even better.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's very awesome.
I think it's theirs.
Yeah, they are doing their number one.
Number 1. Okay, so
Here it is.
number 1 is like the only one that was really like a clear winner for both of us. All the other ones, like, we probably could have put them in any order, just about. This one, we both made our list and we said this was number 1. So
I gotta guess. Let's hear it.
our number 1 for 2 players is Bunny Kingdom.
Whoa.
Kingdom. Wow, that shocked me. I didn't know that.
You're welcome. So it's fine at other player counts too, but we really love the variant for 2-player. So it's a drafting game, and then you're trying to place out your bunnies and take over fiefdoms. But in the 2-player variant, rather than just like pick a card, pass it, you pick a card to keep and you pick a card to trash. So you're kind of playing like offense and defense. So like you see that they're trying to build over in this certain area, you're like, well, I'm going to get rid of this card because this would be really good for you. Yeah. So you never know like what's been, taken out of the game and what
Well, one thing Allison forgot to say is you start with a hand of 10 cards, but you also have a pile of 10 cards. And so when you start your turn, you draw one from the pile, you keep one to play for yourself, and then you discard one.
Oh.
So the other person might not even know like what you drew out of your pile, because you might just discard that right away.
Okay.
So there's some things that like the other person knows about that you might never know about. And then just trying to remember like, okay, I discarded that card so she wouldn't get it. It's okay if I build a camp there because I know it's not going to get taken over. I feel like it plays really well at 2 players because of that.
And like when you're passing the cards, it's only you and the other person. So you're like, okay, maybe I can wait another round for this one, and they might not get rid of it. And Bryce is really good at basically like memorizing and counting cards. And I'm all like winging it, like, okay, I think yeah, we'll just chance it. Maybe he didn't get rid of it. Oh, you threw away my card. So we just really like it.
If someone builds that campfire, does that kind of tell you that, okay, maybe that card is gone? Does that tell the other person? Can they read that?
Not necessarily.
No, yeah, not necessarily, but possibly.
I've done it where I built campfires like all in a row, and I'm like, please don't draw these cards, Bryce. Please don't draw them. And luckily, I was like, sweet.
Because sometimes you might want to just do it so it's like near the end of the round, so you can like score a bigger like fief or something. And sometimes you do it just because you know it's gone and it'll help you later on or whatever.
It was on my list to play the cruise. I remember being swayed away from it because Shut Up and Sit Down didn't enjoy it as much as I thought they would. I do want to play it. It's your number one. I should play it for sure.
Yeah. Originally, when it came out, some of the biggest complaints was that the board was too small or something like that. They reprinted it, and so things are bigger than it was originally. So I feel like it's not too hard to see that that was a bigger complaint for most people.
Expansion or not, what would you say?
We haven't actually gotten around to playing it. We have it. We've had it for a while, but we just love Bunny Kingdom so much that we just haven't bothered to expand it. Which is funny.
It looks really cute.
What is it, Vic?
Yeah, I've seen that game and I think it looks adorable. So I'm all for playing it. We just haven't had, again, the opportunity yet. But at the first chance, please.
Bunny Kingdom, it is.
Please.
Got it.
Very cool. Our number one is Gloomhaven, another cooperative game. I ranked it number one for me of all 2-player games, and Nick gave it number 3. He scored it 3. I just love the dungeon crawling of it. I'm a role-playing game person when it comes to video games, so I was already interested in character development and some of the special abilities that you can do in upgrading your characters. I like that you work together to make decisions that are permanent on the map, so things change depending on which way you decide to go and what choices you make. And there's good teamwork elements. You're playing off of each other's cards. Sometimes we'll ask, are you going to be generating this element? Okay, good, because I'm going to be playing this. And man, that box is really big, so it has a certain presence. If you don't have the space for it, it is something that it has to have its own.
It has its own chair in my living room. It's like a throne.
It does. It's really funny. We have to get multiple tables to lay out the map, and just don't punch all the components. That's one thing I could say for anybody if you don't have a because
use the app too. Use the app.
That's another thing we didn't know until a couple plays through about the app, and then once we learned about the app, it's a free one on Android. I don't know if iOS charges you still. But we got the free app, and it manages a lot of the hit markers and things on the and the conditions that because there is a lot going on in the battles that are happening, and we just enjoy playing the game together. We usually play it multiple times when we pull it out, just because of its size on the table. It'll stay out there for days on end, and we just pick it up after work each night.
Yeah. I want to do honorable mentions, guys. Do you have any?
So we had 2, well, technically 3, like underwater cities, but I feel like we didn't play it enough. We both love Space Base, and so that one's a nice, fun one, and it's just really easy to play. It can be kind of thinky towards the end when you're trying to like buy certain cards and you want to get the most points.
I think that didn't make our list just because, at least for me, it's good at any player count, really. And I felt like it didn't necessarily have to be like just a 2-player game.
Right.
And our other honorable mention was the quest for El Dorado, the little drafting / racing game.
I like the 2-player variant for that just because you're racing like 2 people trying to get there. Each person gets 2 people, so I don't know. It's interesting to try to see how you want to split up your actions.
My honorable mention was Clans of Caledonia. I don't know if you've played that game.
Not yet.
More cute animals. Surprise!
This was Vic's number 9.
Yeah, it was my number 9. I enjoy the game at all player counts as well, so that's why I couldn't say only 2. But we played it the most with 2.
Yeah, but that's why I didn't make my list, because it does scale really well.
And he got into a moment during the whole lockdown stuff. We were playing it a lot online, and Nick was teaching it every day.
New people, friends, random people. He's memorized that rule book. Still haven't reviewed it.
But we haven't done a review yet for it. But we have a lot of fun with the game and clans. I like the different clan abilities, and I like that there is. We have to break up the co-op. We can't be friendly all the time. We do have to sometimes compete with each other, and I like that. I like to be a competing Scotsman.
All right, well, you got one more honorable mention for Vik.
Near and far, of course. Near and far.
That's what I thought would be your number one. Actually, I was like, they're probably Near and Far. I haven't heard it yet.
Did you even think about it?
I think it was on my maybe it didn't make my list.
I like that too. So
yeah, we actually do like that too. I even think better than 4, because 4, you have to. For us, when we invited people over, we started hearing the same stories because people pick a character that we've already played. So, I mean, that's just going to happen. But we just liked playing it at 2. It went faster, the game, and we got things down packed and tried different evolutions in the character development, character mode. So we really enjoy Near and Far for that reason. And obviously, it's a beautiful game, so we have a lot of fun with it.
Should have probably been on our list.
Well, it happens.
Too many games.
Stand by our list.
My 2 are my number 6 was Scythe. It plays great at all player counts, but it's so good at 2 players too. It plays really well. The programming thing, the way you're thinking around, it just works really well. It's a really gratifying game. I like that game a lot. It doesn't really matter to me who I'm going to play with. It's just a gratifying game. My actions, if I could take that bottom action so often, I'm really happy. I love to play it at 2. I love to play it at 3. I'll play it at 4. I'll play it at 5, 6.
Yeah, we played it once online, and it took like 5 hours to get through just because people were learning it, and then it was too many people to play. So really, 2, it does work. I just get scared that he's going to attack me.
Yeah, it's not an attack-heavy game though. So. And the person wasn't a board gamer too, so he's learning how to play a board game with Scythe. That's not ideal.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah. And my number 9 was Vindiculture with Tuscany expansion. Without it, it's not even close. You got to have Tuscany expansion. It's so good. It's my favorite expansion of any game of all time. So Vindiculture with Tuscany expansion plays amazing at 2. It's my number 9. Those are my honorable mentions. And Vik's 2.
Nice. We haven't played any of those, I don't think.
No, we haven't.
No.
I've been wanting to play Scythe for a long time.
I know. I'd probably I've been interested in it, but then I keep backing down. I'm like, maybe we should start with my little Scythe first.
Nah.
Well, I remember, I'll say, Allison, when we first got into the hobby, it was one of the first games that his friend actually owns it. We were playing it. We don't own it. We played it online most recently, but we went over to his friend's place, and they were explaining it, and it was really my first experience getting into these heavier games, and I almost threw my hands up and said, you know what, you guys, but I persevered. I got through it, and now it became one of my top 5 games. I think I even rank it 2 overall on my list.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a really
I really enjoyed it, so don't be intimidated.
It's the most gratifying game. Yeah.
All right, so those are our top 10 games for playing at 2 players. There's definitely a lot of good ones out there. Are there any that we didn't mention that you guys would like to see or that you really like to play? I mean, of course, there's tons out there, but
comment below and tell us what we missed, what should have been on our list, or what you agree with us.
Or what you think we would like based on our different lists. And make sure to check out eNVy Board Gaming. They have their own channel, and they have great reviews. And I like their ranking system, so you should see what they do with that.
Link is in the description.
Thank you guys. It's been good to collaborate together. And, one thing we said, we didn't want to do our own top 10 list because we would just cross over all the time playing the same games together. So I appreciate that you guys made the time for us today.
Yeah, perfect team.
Yeah,
it was fun. And we'll have to do this again. And next time, eNVy will be hosting it, so you'll see it on their channel.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Cool.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good night, guys.
Happy gaming.